Hi everybody, it's a great welcome to Australia and a great welcome to one of their biggest stars. Xavier Rudd's name I didn't know, and I admit, I put my hand up, I've got so many new artists coming onto my channel. Somebody close to me said, you need to listen to him. Believe you me, it was the best thing that happened this week because I've been listening to Xavier Rudd's work for quite a while. He's an extraordinarily handsome guy and a master of lyrics, and he's got film star looks, and his music just takes you almost back into a Western film. It's like, but a modern Western film. He's got the whole package of everything to make him successful, and he has a die-hard loyal fan club. Now, Xavier Rudd, I'm sorry I didn't hear of you before, but you're from Australia, a country I love and close to my heart, and to my cousins living there, hello. I would just like to now get into a little bit about yourself. Some is a little bit of fun facts, others are quite serious. So, he is an Australian singer, songwriter, musician and multi-instrumentalist. Now, several of Rudd's songs incorporate socially conscious themes such as spirituality, humanity, environmentalism and the rights of Indigenous Australians. Now, he has joined the United Nations. He's when it comes to, he's a vegetarian. His activism and causes have been, let's say, Rudd was outspoken against Sir Colin Barnett, that's an Australian politician's plan to open up Kimberley to mining operations. And Kimberley is a region of the northernmost of 9 regions of Western Australia, and he joined the Kimberley movement to St James Price Point, which is a headland area in the Kimberley region of Australia, from being mined and being destroyed, because he felt it was beautiful and environmentally worth keeping prominent. That focal is a tribute to the natural world, the elements that run down mountains, flow through trees and swim in the ocean. Meanwhile, all we can do is just try and be the best we can, he says. It's a well-trodden territory for Xavier Rudd, but it's also the kind of reminder that bears repeating. We're in anxious times, and a reminder to embrace and give thanks to the environment around us. That is so true with so many wars going on, and is more welcome than ever. So he's announced dates through the UK and Europe from September, and he's promised Australian dates in 2022. Will be soon. But in the meantime, let's just listen to what he is about.
Whisper in the wind sent me home. I'd believed there was something more. Learned so much, fell in love with you. Took my chances with what I knew, with the places that had stained my hands and the files that I'd stored on my shelf. Spent so long in the world giving chase, thought my place was some other place. But I belong here, I belong with you, and all of our questions belong here too. 'Cause we been high, darling, we been low, and all of it's helped us grow. We belong here and we deserve to dream.
Sorry for the interference just there, just let me click this. Sorry about that.
waking hour of every waking day, I wake up to the sound of discussions in my brain. I don't know the answer and I don't know the truth, and I don't really know what I've been dragging since my youth. But I push on, I philosophize, and keep my prophecies by my side. And I hope to meet you at the gates, see that light shining on your face. 'Cause I belong here, I belong with you, and all of our answers reside here too. 'Cause we've been high, darling, we've been low, and all of it's helped us grow. We belong here and we deserve to dream. Every breaking hour, though a little more would break, and courage could be summoned to bring about some change, and plans would form to build a brand new castle to the sky we'd soar with the wings of an eagle, stone cold sober with whiskey on my breath, South America running through my head. With you I was taken, it was you, I was not mistaken. You belong here, you belong with me, and all your secrets are safe with me. 'Cause we've been high, darling, we've been low, and all of it's helped us grow. We belong here and we deserve to dream. Running down the mountain, and all we need is flowing through the trees, and all we have is swimming in the ocean, and all we can do is be the best that we can. All we want is running down the mountains, and all we need is flowing through the trees, and all we have is swimming in the ocean, and all we can do is be the best that we can. All we want is running down the mountains, and all we need is flowing through the trees, and all we have is swimming in the ocean, and all we can do is be the best that we can be. And I hope to meet you at the gates, see that light shining on your face.
Xavier Rudd, absolutely beautiful, especially the last few words in that, which I noticed was, I hope to meet you at heaven's gates and see that smile upon your face. So it was dedicated to obviously a loved one. I don't know. I've got the lyrics in front of me and we shall examine them. It's track 6 of your incredible album that I have to stop listening to at the moment, and it's called Jan, an abbreviation for January, Jan, Juk, J-U-C, Moon. It's well worth having in your collection, everybody. It truly is. So go on YouTube and start checking them out, the tracks. And I have to say, you have to take a deep breath after his music, because you almost float away. I couldn't take my eyes off the video. I thought it was extraordinary. I thought Björk recently, who dropped Fosoria, her new album, she's well known in the world of music for doing expressionism through theatrical moves in her videos. And Cornelia Jackson, who represented Sweden, I think it was Sweden, in Eurovision, I've just found a song of hers that was very all about almost live art, where she's moving, and the theatrics of the dances makes the video just spellbinding. And even in yours, I would be right in saying that the dancer was of Aboriginal background, and they are known for being in touch with Mother Earth and living their lives through the land and reaping the rewards of their hard efforts through what the motherland gives them back. Mother Nature gives them back, sorry. So I'm in tune with the lyrics, and you know, he arrives at an abandoned house, and then photographs of loved ones and no longer there, and as he's gone away to live his life, he's come back. It's very poignant. It's what's happened to a lot of Australian people, especially in the outbacks, where they've gone to the cities and then left Australia altogether, and maybe never got back to Australia to visit loved ones who passed away, even their own parents. It happens all the time to children in a never-ending world where they were isolated, and then they just move with their spiritual flow. So we come into the first verse. Whisper in the wind sent me home. I believed there was something more. Learned so much, fell in love with you, took my chances with what I knew. So when you see the actor arriving at the house, we'll just call him, for the sake of these lyrics, I'll call him Ben. When you see Ben arrive at the house, and he arrives to a desolate house, empty, devoid of life, that once used to be that loving home. And I believe, you know, it opens up with Whisper in the Wind. Sometimes there is a calling to all of us to travel back, to go back to our roots, to put our feet on the ground where we grew up, and just embrace what we once had, and remember this is where you came from. So no matter, and this is what it's become, but you're alive and you're a breathing element of what once was, which was a vibrant home, obviously, in the video, and it was, you worked the land and you ate off the land. But he arrives in the suit, and if you notice, he started to undress very quickly, almost, and puts the gold paint on and the symbolic gestures on his shoulder, and it's all symbolisms, and it's all to do with his ancestry. And he looks at a photograph of himself as a child, broken, but he's not broken. His spirit is still there, his love for the place is still there, and he acts it out through the dance moves, and it's quite beautiful. Point 2, with the places that had stained my hands and the files that I'd stored on my shelf, spent so long in the world giving chase, thought my place was some other place. It's funny, we always think when we move from home, our place is another place. And isn't it funny how many times we yearn to go back home to what once was our comfort zone? It continues, but I belong here, I belong with you, and all of the questions belong here too. Because we've been high, darling, we've been low, and all that's helped us grow. We belong here and we deserve to dream. Well, I've named the actor in the video called Ben. So he's acting out almost symbolically what Xavier's writing about. And Xavier obviously has come from the rural background. He's come from a situation where his beloved parents have passed, and what held that home together is no longer here. But as I said at the start, he pays homage to his mother by saying, I hope that beautiful smile on your face is at Heaven's Gate when I arrive. Your own life story as you go along mentally. And he's talked there about prophecies, and it's probably, I'll get a good job, keep it real. The prophecies that my parents taught me was what millions of people do every day. Always have food in your cupboard, always pay your bills, Always keep the roof over your head and always have a warm place to sleep. The most important values of life my mother taught me. She said, and if life pushes you down so far to the ground that all you can taste is that gravel on the ground, the only way in life is back up. But as long as you've got those principles and keep to them, you'll always be a happy person. And it's true, because the lyrics say, see that light shining on your face. I see my mother telling me that with those glint in her eyes and that finger over the face. And then it continues, because I belong here, I belong with you, and all of the answers reside here too. So his spirit belongs with his mother at home. And he said, because we've been high, darling, we've been low, and all of it's helped us to grow. We belong here, we deserve to dream. And I wonder if it is, now that I've read that particular verse, is it a home of where he first started out with his beloved? But I'm keeping it to a family home. I'm giving you my interpretation. So we'll continue. Every breaking hour through a little more would break, and every courage could be summoned to bring about some change. And the plans were formed to build a brand new castle. To the sky we'd soar with the wings of an eagle. So his prophecies and his dreams are still with him. We all want to go as far as we can, fly as high, even with me with this channel. People thought I was crazy giving up pensionable job to pursue my dream. But I'm enjoying it. I'm my own boss and I'm smiling. So we soar with the wings of an eagle, we do indeed. And it finishes stone cold sober with whiskey on my breath, South American running through my head. With you I was taken, it was you, I was not mistaken. So as you have a drink and you leave your homestead to go back to your life, it's just kind of, you needed that pinch, that wake up to realize, to experience again where you're from. In the video we see him dancing over a fire. Fire is very symbolic of the Aboriginal beliefs, very symbolic in what they do. They burn the land to re-energize the land. They always set fires to the land so the seeds will propagate the heat. And you might say, in such a hot country, yes, Aboriginal people did this and still do. And it's just, when I go home and see the green grass, and I think, wow, I'll go up and fix the fence there, and I'll go up and I'll do this and I'll do that. We all just do things, we fall into that. It's the courage to be summoned to bring about change. So whilst you're doing the things at home, or as the video, reliving the spiritual moment, you still aspire to go back to your life, to soar to the clouds. We all do. And over a drink you think, that's your thinking time. That's a man, woman, it can be anybody. So here's me in today's world, that can be a man or woman's thinking time, where you have a quiet drink and you just think, what's next? And with you I was taken, it was you I was not mistaken. And he continues, too many lyrics to go through. So he's basically saying, I hope to meet you at the gates and see that light shining on your face. And that, everybody, is the premise of the song. Otherwise this would have went on for over 30 minutes. Xavier Rudd, welcome to my channel. Thank you for listening, everybody. Don't forget to press and subscribe. I'm sorry I didn't get through all the lyrics. Take care for now.